welcome back to BeamNG.drive. This video is going to be a little different. It's not a playthrough video. I guess it's more of a how-to video. It may or may not work for you, but it is something that I found out that helped me improve my drifting and my driving, and I hope it helps improve yours too. So just to briefly touch on the current videos on the channel, the last video that went up was Hustle and Bustle. It was the third and final campaign in the included game content. The next video that is going up on Friday is going to start the first scenarios. I will admit, I got a little carried away in recording and already have around 12 videos to edit and upload for you guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and start the purpose of this video, which is a little steering adjustment, which I believe will help you because it helped me a lot. So as you can see, I've enabled the steering overlays. You can see my exact steering inputs. I made them a little bigger so they're more visible. You can also see my clutch, brake, throttle, and parking brake inputs. Whoops. So you can just see exactly what I'm doing as I'm talking through what I've done and why I've done it. So I do have experience drifting in other racing games, also racing simulator games, anything from arcade to simulation, from CarX drifting to Forza. I found it very strange to drift in this game. I wasn't quite sure why the car controlled and behaved the way it did, but I think I've recently figured it out after playing through one of those drifting scenarios that we're going to be getting to in another video. So as you can see here, if I initiate a drift, you can see that the steering wheel is counter-steering. I can tell you that that's not me doing that. That's actually a combination of over and understeer assists that are set up in the controls. So let me try and demonstrate it just a little better. If I initiate a drift, and I'm turning to the left and I let off, you can see the car by itself is turning to the right. That's not me. That's just the car doing whatever it wants to do. So to me, it contributes to very unexpected behavior with your car. When I let off of steering, I expect the wheel to straighten up, right? So when I brake or e-brake or whatever, I know where the car is going to want to go. But in the case of the settings right now, if I, again, turn to the right, left, let off the wheel, you see the wheel is very slowly correcting itself back to center. I'm playing with controller, I'm not playing with keyboard, but I assure you I am not turning the steering wheel. That's the car completely doing whatever it wants to do. So how do we fix this? So you go into options, you go to gameplay, and you look for two settings here: oversteer reduction assistant and understeer reduction assistant. So as you can see, you can adjust the strength to adjust how hard the steering should correct itself. You can adjust the speed at which the maximum strength comes in, so you can adjust its ramp rate. So if you want it to reach maximum strength at a higher speed, you can do that, or if you want it to reach maximum strength at a lower speed, you can do that as well. The way my brain works is whenever I come off steering, I expect the wheel to go back to center. It's just how most other games have worked, or at least what I'm used to, at least playing with the controller. Now I haven't played with a steering wheel on pretty much any game. I hope to be able to do that sometime in the future, but for now I'm playing with the controller, and this is just how I found that the controller works best for me. So definitely feel free to adjust and play with these settings to see if you can get them to work a little better for you. They are set up to help you control the car a little better, but in my case I prefer the car to do exactly what I tell it to do. So I turned both of these off. Another setting you can consider is slower steering at high speed, which I believe is enabled by default, but I've turned that off as well. And then limit steering at high speed, which I think is off by default, but you can choose to turn that on, and it will give you some limitation controls over high-speed driving. And again, all of these are assistants, so they're supposed to, or at least they're intended to help you drive a little better without you having to know exactly what you're doing, or I guess not necessarily being good at driving. So with those settings turned off, let's go ahead and try another drift. Why are we not going anywhere? Oh, we need to turn our car on. So let's get back to our example circle over here. Alright, so now if I initiate a drift, and oh, you gotta get used to how it controls. Give me 1 minute. If I initiate a drift here, and I turn the car all the way to the right, but then let off the steering, you see now the car wants to slowly drift over to the left, and the car slowly rotates back around. The steering no longer corrects our direction of travel, and it goes pretty much where you tell it to go. Now me personally, I find this is a lot easier to control because again, whenever I let off the steering, I expect the inputs to go back to where I had them. This also lets you kind of use it to your advantage, because if you're midway through a drift and you just let off the steering, now your car will slowly rotate in the opposite direction that you're sliding, like this. And you see I had no steering input there, but the car was still drifting. So what that allows you to do is when you're mid-corner, you don't have to turn to the right as much to correct your steering. You can kind of let the car do what it wants. And to me, that is just much more predictable controlling mid-corner and mid-drift. I think it makes a lot more sense, at least to my brain. And after I did that change and I practiced for about 10-20 minutes or so, I noticed my drifting drastically improved. So I hope it helps you too. It's a really cool adjustment. I didn't play with the allowance settings, so for example, how you can adjust the strength, the speed it comes in, and etc. I didn't play with those. I just turned it straight off just to see the before and after difference. And I really like how it is with it turned off. So maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. If nothing else, perhaps it just explains a little bit more about how steering works in this game, at least by default, and what you can do to adjust it. In my opinion, this helps a lot if you're playing with a keyboard or a controller, but if you're using a steering wheel, it likely doesn't apply. I don't know how steering wheel settings work quite yet. Steering wheels, they will, some of them will self-correct, some of them won't, so steering wheels are a little more finicky to get calibrated the right way. If I ever do get a steering wheel, I will definitely make a video on how I've configured it to better my own driving, and hopefully that helps one of you in the future as well. So that's about it. Again, very short and sweet video. Just wanted to share a tip that really helped my own driving. Once I found those settings and I was able to see the difference with them on and off, it made a lot more sense why the car was doing what it was doing when I first played through some of those drifting scenarios that you'll see in later videos. And again, it significantly helped improve my own driving. So my drifting in this video is a lot better than what you're going to see in that first drifting scenario, because I've gotten a lot better, and again, the settings really helped out a lot more than I expected. So I apologize for my terrible driving in the upcoming drifting video, but you'll see that, I believe, in, I don't know, a couple weeks. Like I said, I've done so many videos, I'm kind of getting lost at this point, but a lot of videos are coming. So a lot of my videos are being scheduled weekly. In November, we'll be changing to bi-weekly videos, so we will have a video on every Monday and Friday. I will mention that in the video that we make that change on. Again, I can't remember because I've done so many at this point. I am recording this video basically in real time. So today is October 25th, and if my day goes the way I want it to, I will have this video edited and uploaded by today. If not, then it will be by tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So I apologize if this video is boring or not helpful to you. I will try to make it as short as I can. I'll probably cut out a lot of my ramblings because yeah, it's very hard to talk and drift. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see my upcoming scenario videos, and I will see you in the next video.